In tonight's video, we're going to make a Thanksgiving buckle fold card using the Pretty Pumpkins stamp set. I'm dressed a little casual tonight. I'm wearing my army sweatshirt. This is my favorite sweatshirt that I hang around with. It's a little bit cold here, so I needed to have something a little warmer, but I also wanted to wear it as a comfort shirt because the last 2 weeks were pretty crazy here. About a year ago this time, my mom died of COVID, and we decided to have her celebration of life this past Saturday. And it's actually a week from Saturday, and it turned out not to be that good of an idea. We had a nice turnout, but 13 of the family members ended up coming down with COVID, including my husband. We're all doing fine, but I'm still under isolation. I've been wearing my face mask here almost all the waking hours, and I'm ready to get rid of that face mask. Yeah, that's what's been going on here. Hope all is going well with you. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I've created this video for Joan's Simple Paper Crafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds and I'll turn the camera down and we can get started. And here's that pretty pumpkin buckle card I said we'd make. We're using the Pretty Pumpkin stamp set. I don't have the dies that go along with this, so I just fussy cut that out. We can go ahead and get started. First, we're going to use our 8.5 by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock, and I have it scored at 5.5 inches. And we'll go ahead and score that right now. And I'm going to burnish it on both sides to give it a nice crisp edge. And that's going to be our base card. Then our next piece is going to be 2 inches by 4 1/4. And then we're going to score that at 3/4 inch. And then we're going to take a 2 3/4 inch by 4 inch piece of designer series paper, and we're going to use the Beauty of the Earth designer series paper, and it's this pattern right here. And we're going to take this piece here and we'll attach it so that it'll fold over the front of this cardstock, and then that'll be attached down here. I'm going to use our Seal Plus, and we'll use our silicone mat so that if we go off the cardstock, it won't mess up our space. And I really like this Seal Plus. It does have a really good hold on it. And then they're made of little tiny pieces of tape. And so if you put it on crooked and it's sticking out, you can just fold it back over. I had to do that for that because I was a little bit off on applying it. And I think we're done with that for now. I am going to lay this down. And it is a 4 inch wide piece, so I've got it on the lines there. I don't know if you noticed, I've got a grid paper underneath, and I can see right through that, through the silicone mat on the grid paper. And then I'm going to put this piece on the grid paper as well, and I'm putting it at the 3 and the 5 inch places. And then I'm just going to reapply this one at the 2 and the 6 inch. And I'm going to butt it up to where that fold line is. And that should be good right about there. And it folds over nice. And I am going to just burnish that. Then I just want to make sure that it fits here just fine. So we're going to glue this down, and we're going to use our multi-purpose glue. This we can get in the catalog, but I've got it in these little bottles here that has a needle nose tip so that I can apply it when we are doing the fine, delicate surfaces. And I'm just going to use it for this as well. And I'm applying it all the way to around the edges. Get a lot on that little piece there. And then we're going to set it on our cardstock. And we want to have it at 1/8 of an inch border on the top, bottom, and the right hand side of the cardstock. And I'm going to burnish it. Basically, I'm trying to get all the glue bubbles flattened out beneath the card. And I'm going to do it on the back side too. So that works there. The next piece we want to get is our Very Vanilla. And the Very Vanilla is cut at 2 1/4 by 4 inch. And we're going to want to stamp this, and I'm going to stamp it with So Thankful for You, and that is found in the Pretty Pumpkin stamp set. So Thankful for You. And we're going to do that with soft suede. And I am just going to bring it down here a little bit because I don't want to stick my head into your space. And that's good. And I'm just going to close this up for right now. We have to come back to use that some more, but not right now. And then I'm going to put some glue on the back side of this. Probably still should have that silicone mat though. And then I am going to apply it on the inside of the card. And I am going to put it at 1/8 of an inch, excuse me, or 1/8 of an inch on the left side, top and bottom. And then it's going to be just shy of 1/4 of an inch between these two pieces. We'll take the boning folder and just flatten the glue out from beneath the 2 sheets of paper. And I'll do it on this side as well. And then next we're going to want to take is our designer series paper. And this is going to be a piece from Harvest Meadow. And it's this designer series paper here. And we're just going to apply glue on that. And we'll put that down on this edge of the paper, leaving 1/8 of an inch around the top, the bottom, the right side, and the left side. Because the left side has a fold in it, and we're going to leave that 1/8 of an inch right up to where the fold is. And then we're going to use our bone folder again. And actually, I'm going to just close this real quick and see if we've got that. Yeah, I should have left it like this because we want to make sure that this is a continuous line, and that is pretty good. So I'm not going to do anything with that. Let's just flatten this out again. And next we're going to want to take is our punch. And I'm going to be using the classic label punch. This is retired, but what you'll want to do is put it in about a 1/2 inch from the edge of the paper and center it top to bottom. Actually, at this point, it'd be from right to left. And then we'll just punch that out. So if you don't have a punch, you can cut that piece of paper out. And you'd want to make it be, let's see, 2 1/8 inches by 3/8 inches is what you want for that piece. Now there might be some dies on some of our pieces here, but I don't know any offhand right that would have that type of piece in there. And I just want to make sure that this will fit in here, and it does. That's going to work there. Next we want to do is we need to have a piece to go over that punched out piece here. This is a oval piece that has been retired. So I'm not going to use oval. I'm going to use a stitched rectangle dies. And let me just go ahead and clean this off. I thought I had done that, and I guess I didn't. So I want to get that cleaned off real quick before we get it all over everything. And this is our Stampin' scrub right here. And I'm going to flip this around because we have it sprayed on this side because there's a raindrop up there. That's how come I know that's the side where I want to scrub. And then this is the dry side. And there happens to be a sunbeam right there. Because that works. In there, that's clean now. We need to use the stitch rectangle die, and this is one that is, I'm going to say it's the 3rd from the smallest of this shape dies. Because it's right there. So it's a 3rd from the smallest. That's what we're going to use. And I've got this piece here. I think it's about a little over 2 inches wide. And I don't know how long it is. Probably about 4 inches, 5 inches long. And we're just going to take that to our cut emboss machine and we'll cut that out. Well, I've already got one right here, so we've got that going right there. So our next piece we need is our pumpkin. So we need to stamp that, and let me just move this to the side. And we'll take our pumpkin here, and we will stamp that with, we start with the gather together is what I did, so that I make sure I get that on in the right position. And I am going to again use our soft suede. And I take it right about here, because I know we want to have that pumpkin above, the pumpkin piece stamped above it. And then we'll take our pumpkin piece and I am going to Try and get that as close as I can to the lettering, right about there. That worked pretty good. And I am going to take these and quickly stamp them off with our Stampin' Scrub. So let's get our pumpkin back in here and we will start coloring him in. I've got our pumpkin pie markers and our old olive markers. And I'm going to start with the pumpkin pie. And I'm going to start with the light pumpkin pie. And I'm going to color this in. I went out of the lines there, but we've got our Stampin' Blend erase, I think it's called Eraser, the color lifter, and I can use that to help push the color back in. I'm going to use that right now. So I'm pushing it upward. So that should help make that disappear. I may have to come and do it again, but oh, I'm really doing a terrible job here tonight. I'm doing this, getting this with the light color all over. So that kind of lays a platform down for when I'm going to go in with the dark marker and try and put some shading on there. And then we'll come back and blend it again with the light marker. So I'm going to take the dark marker and I'm going to basically go over all the lines that are in this pumpkin. And I'm going all around the outer edge as well. And doing the same thing with all these pumpkins. And I'm going around the leaves because there'll be some kind of shadow where the leaf touches the pumpkin, so that's why I'm doing that. And then we also want to put some shading on one side of the pumpkin, so we're going to go on the left side of the pumpkin and the bottom part of the pumpkin, and I'm actually going to put a little more down here and then around this edge of the pumpkin. And the reason I'm doing the bottom part of the pumpkin is because it's sitting there and you don't see all of the bottom side of the pumpkin. So it would be a little bit darker if you actually saw the pumpkin in person. If you look at a pumpkin that's sitting, and then I'm going to do a little bit on the outer edge there as well. And right here too. Okay, then we'll bring in our light and we'll start shading, starting from the dark and pulling it in toward the light. And I'm going back over those areas where I put some more shading just to help blend it a little bit better. So just going over this area again. And then I'm actually going to come in with my color lifter and I'm going to try and lift some color out of the put some streaks in. And I'm actually going to use the bullet tip to actually put streaks in. So that'll give you give it some more dimension as well. And then next we're going to take, and I'm going on some paper to just clean that marker off. It had a little bit of darkness on there. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves. I'm going to use the light dark olive and go over the entire stem and the leaves. I'm hoping I'm using and that's the dark. Okay, let's see if we can bring in this and start erasing some of that right off the bat. It is lightening it. Used the wrong marker. So I'm going to go back, and now I have the light marker, and I'm just going to go back over that to get again some more. And then we'll get the leaf all defined. And then I'm going to take the dark marker, use that bullnose tip, and I'm going to go back over where I did before, and just on the left side, just to give it a little more shadowing. And then around the very center part, concentrating on where it touches the stem. And now I'm using the light marker, and I'm trying to blend from the dark to the light. There we go. So next we want to do is fussy cut this out. Well, I've already got one started, so I am just going to bring that one in and we'll finish that up. So what we want to do is we want to start and we want to turn the scissors, or turn the paper, not the scissors. And I'm just going around, leaving like a 1/16 of an inch, shy of 1/16 of an inch around the edge of the paper. And we stamped the gather together at the bottom of this. And we're not going to fussy cut that out any farther than we've already done. So what I did is I fussy cut the bottom edge of the gather together, and then the top edge is blending into the base of the pumpkins. And that is intentional. We want to hang on to that portion of the cardstock, because our base is going to be, that we're going to glue it on, is not big enough to cover all that up. So that's what we're going to be gluing it on to. Let's do that real quick here. And I've got quite a bit of glue there, so hopefully I'm going to bring my mat in before I flip this around, otherwise we'll have glue all over everything. And I want to put it, center it on this cardstock right here. One folder from the back side. Make sure we get all the glue bubbles out, and then we'll do it on the top side. So there we go there. And next we want to do is put it on our card base. We'll use some Stampin' Dimensionals, and we'll put one up here and one down here. And what I want to do is check to see what size dimensionals can I use. I think I am going to be using the regular size. We'll use 2 of the standard size of dimensionals. And I'm going to put them on the right side of the cardstock. And we'll do the same thing on the bottom side here. And let's just double check that before we peel them off. And then I think I'm going to take 2 small ones and we'll put them right up here. So let me get my small ones. Then we'll take our take your pick tool and we'll pull those out. And now we should be able to center that top and bottom, right to left. And I'm just going to put it down lightly, not really press it down too hard because I'm not sure about that one-dimensional. Those seem to be fine. I am going to just take this and kind of tuck that back under there. That little point that was sticking out, I can just tuck it underneath. So we're going to get that in there. All right, I think it's missing some gems, so let's put a little sparkle into this. We've got these holiday rhinestones. We've got some orange ones here, so I think those will match this pumpkin pie. So I'm going to just take those and put a couple on here. Put one like right about here. Do one right about here. And we've got a bigger one up here. We'll set them down here. I think that'll work great. And let's do that on that our other card. I'll do one right down there. Let's see if we can't do this one over here. Okay, I think that looks much better now. So if you do have the oval dies, you can do it this way, and if you don't, you can get the you still can get the stitch rectangle dies out of the catalog, and you can use this way. Let's see if I can get these lined up, and we'll finish up here. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. As you can see, you could use just about any stamp sentiment. This could say thank you, or it could say happy birthday. It doesn't have to be a Thanksgiving card. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you enjoyed today's video, would you do me two favors? Click the thumbs up emoji. That means you like it. And would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. The 24-hour stamp sale starts tonight at 1 a.m. Central Time. The 24-hour stamp sale on all Kling stamp sets. Those are our red rubber stamps. Every red rubber Kling stamp set in the annual catalog has a 15% off. I love this. It's the biggest sale we've ever done. Mark your calendars. I'll be back Wednesday, October 27th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be doing something fall-like. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.